Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Norfolk Currents podcast. I'm your host for this week, Dustin Nowak, and I'm here with Barry's local musicians. Everyone, Jessica and Chris, say hi to the camera. How you guys doing?
Hi.
Hi. Can I get you to bring the microphone up?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. That would be funny if you just, I didn't even notice, and you just, the whole podcast down here.
Wasn't thinking.
You're totally fine. No, but thank you guys for coming. I'm a fan. I've seen you guys on Lava lineups for a while now, and then I got to see you for the first time live not too recently when you opened for Frankie Cosmos.
Cool. Yeah, that was a cool show.
I loved that show.
It was a very good show. I've never seen any of the artists there. My friend really liked Frankie Cosmos, and I was like, I'm always down for a Lava show. I'll go.
Yeah.
And I'd been trying to see you guys for a while, mainly because, and it's very funny, at the end of your performance, you mentioned it. There's another band, another Barry's on social media.
There's a couple of them.
It's our enemy.
So every time at Norfolk Currents, we try to follow local artists and plug their news and everything. Every time I try to find you guys, it's always the UK Barry's.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to talk to them. I need to talk to someone to find your social media. And it was very nice that you guys plugged it at the end of the show.
Also, theirs is spelled all caps.
I don't think that matters. But
that's like how you differentiate.
Yeah, when you're looking at them.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people we've kind of given them over the years. Here, they're like, oh, follow us on social media, and then they go and follow because I think there's a girl in that one too.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh,
I think it's an all-girl band.
All girls.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe somebody sees you guys live and they're like, oh, they're in Rochester next month?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
we're international.
I think my
now.
aunt on Facebook was like, "Are you playing in the UK?" And I was like, "No, that's not us." Yeah.
I wish, but that's very funny. I do love the name Barry's. I love a good one-word name. No drop the.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
Yeah.
And your last name is Ledbury.
Yeah.
Is that where it came from?
Yes.
Okay. You're like, Barry's, that's it right there. I love that.
I don't know where I came up with it, but
I do. Your last name.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know why I picked that.
Yeah.
But,
That's cool though. And how did the band start?
It started as just me recording stuff in high school. I think the first thing I put out was 2011, my senior year, and it was just a little 4-song EP, and all the songs are terrible on that, by the way. But yeah, it just started out as a solo project thing, and I didn't really start playing shows until 2000, the end of 2016, I think.
Yeah.
So that's whenever the whole band kind of was put together just for that, and that was just me just hitting up old friends that I've been playing music with for forever and stuff. So.
I didn't know Chris really.
Okay.
And we were just out at a bar, and my friend Molly was like, do you know Chris? And I was like, no. And even though we had the same group of friends, she was like, you really need to play with them. He's in a band, Barry's blah. And so I was like, okay. And at the time, I was still living in California. And so I was going back and forth a lot. And I showed up with my Omnichord one day, which is a little electric harp.
I remember when you asked, you're like, can I join your band or whatever? And I was
he was so open to it. He was like, sure.
I remember saying jokingly it felt like I was saying it jokingly yeah, go ahead.
And I really
then
showed up.
Showed up the next pad, and then it was cool.
We hit it off. I brought beer. I was like, I'll just bring a 6-pack and my Omnichord and some shakers, and I'm kind of do y'all know the show Even Stevens?
Yeah.
You know how Beans just kind of shows up and doesn't go away, and they where did he come from?
All right, yeah, Beans is here.
I'm like Beans, yeah. And I just haven't gone away.
And
I'm playing bass.
Mr. Bean.
Oh, there you go.
Sharp left.
Just doesn't talk at all. Oh God.
So yeah, it's just kind of been we've just been kind of bebopping around since then.
You moved on up,
I got promoted to the bass, which is my typical instrument.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really commit at the time because I was living in California. But now I'm on the bass.
Wait. So you typically, as in, did you play bass before? But you were like, I'm gonna show up with the omnichord.
Yeah, because they had a bass player. It was his brother at
Yeah.
the time. And so that
You
was
kind of
he was
just
kinda-
did a lot of weird like bells and whistles.
Yeah,
kinda
I
stuff.
really
Like,
just
she
showed
brought,
up.
like, didn't you bring like a meditation bowl?
I brought
and
a singing bowl. I
once
just
and-
brought whatever I could like find.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
whatever I could
tambourine,
yeah,
you know.
whatever
Big-
I could contribute.
Big bean energy.
Yeah, big bean energy. Exactly.
You showed up making noise, making bass.
Now she's killing it.
Yeah.
On
Now
bass,
it's my
you
band.
know? Yeah, she took
Yeah,
over.
you were dead center. I have it. So every time I go to a show, I always take a picture of the performers, and it's like my background. I have like a carousel going through, and yeah, you're like dead center. It's
Yeah, that
very
was fun.
funny.
Yeah. That was unique for that show. We don't usually do it like that.
I liked it
but,
though.
Yeah.
we were sharing kind of to keep the flow of the show going. We were sharing equipment, and
Yeah.
Frankie plays the bass, so her amp was in the middle.
Right.
And I was like,
Oh well, we can't move it. We can't move it.
yeah, I was like, oh, I can't move this giant amp. It was like so small. Might as well just sit in the middle.
It was just a lot easier to keep everything where it was.
It was fun
Yeah.
though. I think it sounds sonically any show, and I play in Community Witch as well, and we did this at the Norva where I was in the middle, and the two guitar amps kind of building, and then the drive of the bass in the center, I think sounds really good. So I was
I feel like placement wise, that's probably
right.
sounds good for the audience. You know.
Because bass can kind of get lost for the audience a lot of times. So having it right there is really nice.
Yeah, and kind of just balanced out because Chris will play one lead, Daniel will play like another lead, and it does really just kind of balance out the sound.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you were in Community Witch as well. I listen to you guys. I haven't seen you guys live yet either, but this is great. That's what I love about local bands is they're all kind of just intermingling a lot. Like there's Lava has the Halloween show
I'm
coming
playing
out.
that too.
Oh, which band?
Bruce Springsteen.
That's
with
awesome.
Logan. I play in his band as well.
Yeah, she gets around.
I'm busy, man.
Yeah, I bet.
I pulled up blaring that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm learning the songs. But yeah.
Literally the first thing whenever she rolled the window down when she parked, she just started singing that to me.
We did, that's always such a fun, like the Lava show. We did Joy Division New Order last year.
Yeah.
And a few years before
Division.
that, New Division, we did Yeah Yeah Yeahs. And then before that, we did System of a Down.
I would have loved to
At
see that one.
Barry's.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
We've been doing the Lava shows like every year or the Halloween shows,
Yeah.
but I've just been so bombarded with like trying to finish up the album and
Yeah,
stuff
it's a
that
big-
like I just wanted to take this year off and kind of focus more on like the Berries stuff.
I
'Cause that's
understand.
like trying to learn like a whole cover set
it's a lot.
takes like 2 months, you know,
Yeah.
practicing and like it's just a lot of like time and devotion to that. So
And you've already
it's like,
got
I need to.
you've got all that Barry. You got the album work. You've got to promote it and stuff like that. So of course the reason why you're here. Well, your reason why you're here is because I want to talk to you for a while, but also you guys do have an album coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's coming out actually probably the day this podcast goes out. It'll be out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 20.
We're shooting for the 27th.
Yeah, so it'll
Nothing
come out
like
that
set
day
in
too.
stone, but that's what.
Really?
Yeah, if it's
well,
not, well then you
waiting
got
on
something.
the art, I guess.
It'll be ready.
yeah,
I will
yeah,
stare at him
fingers
until
crossed.
he finishes it. But yeah, the 27th is the projected date
Yeah.
for the album.
Yeah.
Worst case
yeah.
scenario, it doesn't come out then. It comes out a week later. You've got a bunch of people waiting.
Yeah.
There
True.
you go.
Yeah.
Because you guys have already dropped 6 singles, right?
Yes, 6. So it's gonna be a double album. It's called 2 Autumn Sun and then 2 Autumn Moon, and we put 3 Sun side singles out and then 3 Moon side so far.
Okay,
Yeah.
and of course, for anyone who's not familiar with that kind of album, could you give me a quick explanation of like the concept?
Yeah, so it's basically just an album that's like really inspired by the season, like fall, and all the songs kind of have that like lighthearted, breezy to them that kind of evoke like that fall feeling, I guess. And I just, it's been something that I've wanted to record for
I think he's fine. He's fine.
it's been something I've been like wanting to record for like 10 years now. And yeah, it's been on my mind for a long time. So
That's
it's been
awesome.
a long process too.
Yeah, when what they say. Well, of course, this isn't your first album, but you've got 10 years to write your first album. It's just been cooking in your brain this whole time.
I used to have this setup like back in 2013, I guess it was, where like I just had a bunch of instruments going through like a loop pedal, and I would just kind of go in that room like every day and just make up like jams and then record them like on my phone, just like voice memos. And I had a bunch of those, and then I think 2014 and 2015, I tracked like 50 demos like based off of those phone recordings. And those demos became Soliloquy Road, which was our last album, and then the EP Outgrowth, and then like all the leftover, tracks from those demos are what's going to be on the fall album. So, yeah.
That's killer, man. Wait, also, could you say the name of the last album again? Because I have it in my car, and I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, it's called Soliloquy Road.
Soliloquy Road.
Yeah.
I'm so uncultured. I didn't know that's, when I see the word, I'm like, I know the word soliloquy. I didn't know that's how it was spelled.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. 50 songs. I mean, you hear that very often. I'm actually... It's funny that this is the first person I go to, but I'm a big Carly Rae Jepsen fan, and she often writes like 100 and so songs for every album. That's why she has like B-sides for every album, is because she just like dumps them. So it's great. Like, do you do like a daily when you're writing? Do you like a daily come in, just like jam out a little bit, try to figure it out, or what's your process, if I may ask?
So I had all those like demos sitting around, and most of them are just like instrumental, and usually just like one kind of thing. And what I've done in the past with those demos is kind of like maybe I'll use one demo as just like the verse for a song, and then maybe I'll use like another demo as like the chorus of a song, like maybe mash two demos together and like make a song that way or something. But yeah, I guess the like process of how I've been doing this fall album is I just had like the demos already to go off of, and I would just be like, oh, I want to do this song next, and hit the studio whenever I can. That's also been a big issue with me too, because the place where I'm living at right now, like it's kind of loud in the house all the time, and finding like time, like quiet, like a quiet space to record has kind of been like really hard, which has been an issue of why like the album's taken so long to finish. Just trying to find somewhere to record, and my big shout out to Aaron Denny.
Yeah.
He's been a huge help. Like letting me use
like
his
our
house and everything. Yeah.
Truly.
But yeah, I remember actually living at his house in 2020, and that's whenever I first actually started recording the songs for To Autumn.
Got it.
And I remember I had this like rule where I was like, I'm gonna only record like in the months of like fall, and that's it. Like if I want everything to feel like organic and like real.
Want to capture that energy.
Yeah, that was like my mindset, and I think I tracked like most of the songs. It's 22 songs, dude. There's like 11 songs on the sun side, 11 on the moon, and I think I tracked most of the instruments and the songs between like 2020 and 2021, just in autumn.
Yeah,
but.
Because, I mean, there wasn't anything happening during that time that kind of gave you a lot of free time. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No,
I forget about it. I mean, it sounds messed up, but I forget about it. And I'm like, I can't believe we went through a pandemic.
That time is gone. But not for you. You got an album out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
I kind of
awesome.
threw that like doing everything just in autumn idea like out the window now. Like I've been working on it like all summer, and but
yeah, it's
a lot of work.
It's a nice idea, but it's then you're like, oh, I've been mixing for 4 months, and you're like, oh, okay, all right.
I was like, I need to get this thing finished.
I think a lot of like recording is listening to it, kind of letting it cook and marinate, and then coming back to it, and that's tough when you have to put something out in just the autumn months, for example.
Yeah,
that was kind of nice though. Like whenever I was sticking with that rule, like after I was done in 2020. I like let it sit, and then I went back to it like in 2021, and it was kind of like weird revisiting them and like still being happy with them and stuff, and like, you know, making little changes that I probably wouldn't have like, you know, a year earlier or something.
Yeah. No, this has been cooking for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. This is gonna be good. Well, how you guys have been playing shows for a long time. I always want to ask my people who are musicians. Hey, you have any good or bad show stories?
Oh my god, one's really coming to mind.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, recently we played in Richmond.
Maybe
It was
we
a
can-
fun show.
It was okay.
And Whitehall is a great band.
We
Yeah.
are great friends with this band Whitehall, who's from South Carolina, and though the show was, you know, we expected more of a turnout, but playing shows with your friends and they're just like really solid shows, and then there's a point of the night where we're kind of just like, F it.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going, you know,
Yeah.
just keep playing and
Yeah.
like, you know, like let's like let it roll. Those are like my most fun and most memorable stories.
Yeah, it's kind of, we have like a chance to just like let loose and not really care.
Because
too
it's
much
so
or something.
tough, you know, with some shows they only give you like 30 minutes, and how do you do it for, you know, how do you put yourself out there in 30 minutes for a whole new brand new crowd, you know, like the Frankie Cosmos crowd is like a younger crowd versus what we're used to playing to. And so how do we put ourselves out there in 30 minutes? You know, it's so tough. We're about to put out a 22 song album. We have so much in our, you know,
Catalog.
Rolodex. Yeah, that we kind of are just like, well, you know, do we play the hits? Like, what do we play something that kind of leans into the Frankie Cosmos like vibe?
Yeah, I feel like we always try to, like, based on who we're playing with, we always try to base our set list like on how, like, picking what songs would like fit with that that vibe,
which
or something.
will make every show for us unique, but for, you know, the audience,
yeah.
you know, although I just saw Barry's, you know, 2 months ago or whatever, we're gonna play a different set from the last time you saw us, I promise. That was kind of like our New Year's resolution as a band, was to like learn all of our songs.
That also just keeps it exciting, like for y'all and for me especially too. Like learning like new songs is what I'm like, you know, the new stuff is always what I'm like the most excited about and want to play, but I don't always get the chance to. And I know that like a lot of the newer songs they're a lot slower and more mellow, and I guess not as fun for an audience to play to, you know, which is a big worry I have about this album. But
I think you know, you guys definitely played some slower jams at that show that I saw you at, and it worked really well.
We did that intentionally because of the Frankie Cosmos. She's more of like a soft spoken. We knew that the other band was a duo. We knew that there was going to be a solo acoustic act.
Yeah.
So I felt like we kind of rocked a little too hard.
I wasn't going to say that.
Jana Horn, right after us, she got on the mic and she was like, I don't know why I played after that.
It was definitely a bit of a whoa energy and movement, and I was like, okay. But I don't think
I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
I really did. It's always fun. You know, music is amazing, but I always say it's better to see it live, just because please go see them live. It's always better because you can like really connect with the music. I only just started like using music services that let you listen to higher fidelity versions of albums and stuff, because like the MP3 versions usually they can get like really crunched down, but when you're hearing it live, it's like you can like focus in on one instrument and stuff like that. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's always fun to like just watch like every, you know, member or something. I always like watching the drummers a lot. They're just the most active on stage.
They don't stop.
And you guys were like having fun on stage, which was getting to the audience. Like you guys were cracking jokes, and they were really getting into it. Which is again, you know, Jenna Horn was great, but it was very funny seeing like you guys have this really light, fun energy, and then she came on and it was like, oh man,
I never know like how we come across.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be honest. So I'm
Me too.
glad it was good.
Sometimes I feel like I put my foot in my mouth all the time on stage.
I just totally black out up there and just
Yeah, same.
I get it 100%. I do like improv and stuff. So like once you get on stage, you're like, I can't think anymore about
Right.
anything
Yeah.
else.
That's exactly how it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know my first name right now.
Let's just get to the next song.
Right.
Stop talking. Get to the next song.
I love you mentioned that like seeing a live show, listening to more like high fidelity music, it brings a different life to a song. We try, and that's what I love about playing in this band. We have our studio album version, whatever, and then we have our like live version, and they are two totally not completely different songs, but they're two totally different, and that's totally intentional. We want to bring almost like we want to add cheese on it for our live.
Yeah.
That is always the goal, to make it a little more beefed up for sure.
And also like because I record everything myself at home, like obviously the way y'all like will play the stuff live will be like a little different than like how I played the instruments like on the song. And like I'm always like pushing for y'all to kind of put your own flair on the music and stuff too.
Yeah, Chris definitely lays the groundwork with the studio albums, and then we for sure, and it's so nice to have kind of like, the vision is there. It's nice to add whatever we want and be receptive, and I just think we just get along so well as a band. And it's just so easy to play music with each other, and sometimes we will jam on Sheryl Crow or Alice in Chains for 30 minutes. We've like played Freebird at practice.
Tracy Chapman.
We sometimes practice is just like playing and jamming and having fun. And there was a time where I was kind of just going through it with my old job, and I was at practice, and we were playing, and we were in this zone, and I was thinking to myself, man, if we got, if a nuclear bomb happened and this was the end of the world, I'd be so happy right now. Like, I would die so happy. I'm having so much fun with my friends, doing what I love. I'm 32 and still doing this, it's such a blessing to be
All
in a
that
band.
goes through your head while
and mind you,
Wow.
like,
I wish a bomb just dropped right now.
Right now. I don't care what anyone else is doing.
I was just like, if this is
No,
the end
that-
of the world,
that's a nice-
No, it's nice.
I'm so happy that we are, doing what we're doing. Like, how fortunate. A lot of people my age.
We are like really close, all of us. Me and Daniel, he plays guitar in the band, have been like, BFFs since probably like 7th grade. Like we go way back. And then his brother Jacob is also in the band. He plays drums. And then their cousin Tyler, plays keys. So it's like a big family band.
That's beautiful. I wish we could have got them all here, but I wasn't gonna be able to figure out how to get 5 people on here at once that quickly.
I mean,
Most of them probably wouldn't say
they
a
don't
word
want to
anyways.
be. No offense.
That's
but they were just
and they're-
100% valid.
They're all working right now too, day
yeah.
jobs, so they wouldn't.
yeah, they're all working legit jobs. They're just out here bebopping around.
Well, let's plug again. Let's plug the album one more time. What was the name of it again?
It's called 2 Autumn Sun and 2 Autumn Moon.
2 Autumn Moon, 2 Autumn Sun, and it should be out right now. You should go to all your favorite streaming platforms. Also, do you have a website?
No, we just have Bandcamp.
Oh, okay, cool.
It'll be on there, and
We have a link tree.
yeah.
It's on our Instagram page. I feel like, nowadays websites are so that's a tough one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Linktree is pretty solid.
Linktree kind of gets the point across.
Yeah,
Instagram is our website.
yeah, that's very.
Yeah, seriously, that's just like what it is these days.
We'll make sure we're gonna link you guys in here so that way people can find you guys and listen to your music. Also, please feel free to come see their shows, get some of their merch. I have their album in my car. It's the only CD I have in my car.
It's the only CD in a lot of
Nice.
people's car.
Yeah.
Our next show, we haven't announced it yet, but we will. Is going to be at the Riff House on November 3rd Friday, we're going to be playing with Shagwolf from North Carolina and Bam Bam, who are members of Ladada.
Okay.
Raise Hell.
Raise Hell over the summer. Elliot, of course. He just slides his way. He's the beans. He's the beans of this show.
We love Elliot.
Yeah, Elliot's great. I think that's all of them. If I'm forgetting someone.
I think that's it, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good off the top of your head.
Yeah,
Sure that hasn't been
it's gonna be a
announced.
fun show, and come out. We got a couple more, but we can't really announce them yet.
It's fine. Follow them on social media, and they'll be able to find
Oh
it.
yeah, you'll see it.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming, Jess and Chris.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
of course.
you.
And thanks for listening. We're out.
We're out.